Hey everybody, welcome back to Woodland Road Funfair. I've been quite looking forward to this build session because I had very clear ideas of what I wanted to do with Dr. Psychola, the mad scientist, and the witch ride with the magic twirl. And although it's probably, the Psychola is not particularly riveting viewing because it's a rectangular box with lots of electricity and sparks, which is a fairly simple build structure, of course. The witch one's got a little bit more action in terms of solving building problems. But anyway, while the Psychola is getting built there, I'll just talk about the development of the park and the concept that I'm playing out in my head as I'm designing these things. The original concept was that the park was designed to be either an actual travelling fairground or a fixed fairground but reminiscent of a travelling one, so that it looks like a travelling fairground. And then let's say it's been operating commercially for a few years, and they've got enough customers and they've made some money and they want to invest, so they're putting down their roots now, as it were. They're building rides decorations that are consistent with the original theme of a travelling fun fair, but more elaborate. So some of the rides will have very simple decoration and are intended to look like they could still be portable, they could be packed up and taken away, and others are looking like they've been there a bit longer, they've sort of developed to the point where they're becoming permanent fixtures really, and they would have to be destroyed rather than dismantled if they were to be moved. So this ride, I would say, is sort of about halfway between those states, the Psychola, where you could imagine them unbolting all the roof and unbolting all the electrical bits and taking down all the cables and packing it all up and putting it in railway containers and trucking it off to a different site if they wanted to, but it's starting to look like this ride is here to stay. So that's sort of what's going on in my mind as I'm building them. Is some of them are portable still, some of them are not so much, and some of them really are stuck in place. I was mucking around with terrain on this Witchy Poo ride. Witchy Poo is another one of these things from my childhood. There was a TV show, I think it was called HR Pufnstuf or something. You'll probably find that on YouTube if you had a look. And Witchy Poo was one of the characters that used to, it cracked us up when we were 7. It's probably not so funny these days. It's pretty old TV, but anyway, that's why it's called Witchy Poo. I mean, having using terrain really was a convenience. If it was actually a portable tunnel, then it would all be made of fiberglass and mesh and so on, and not actually terrain. But I just did that to make it quick. I suppose I could have built it all up with those rocks and pretended they were fake rocks. So the idea here is you're coming from the path, you go through the tunnel into a more dark and spooky sort of atmosphere, and then curve around and go on the ride, and then when you exit, it's the reverse journey. So not too fancy because there wasn't a lot of space left there. Just needed to look like there was a witch ride. The Hyperspin and teacups, just moving very quickly through finishing those, so there's not a lot to see there. For the teacups, I ripped off the base idea from the red, white and blue back on the Mr. Twirl, and then recolored it and made it look more like Tea Party with the confectionery items. So I'll talk a little bit about what's coming up to close off these episodes. This is episode 5, there's 2 to come. For episode 6, I'm going to be detailing the last 2 rides, the Hellion Ring and the Scissor. They are, again, very simple. I'll give them about 50 seconds or so each on the video episode, the 7-minute video episode, and then I'll get into decorating the coaster. And again, the coaster, the Vomit Comet, that's got a story to it. It's going to be scaffolded or fully custom supported, except for maybe just a few spots where I'll leave the original supports there. And I got to tell the story that I outlined in the coaster build supplementary video from Series 1. So that will be most of the next video, will be that coaster decoration and building the queue for that, which is going to look a little bit like something like a Space Academy or a Pilot Training Academy or something like that, where as you go through the queue as a pilot, you're seeing what do you call them, like exhibits or something of spaceship parts and things like that. Like not quite a museum, but maybe a museum or an informative Academy presentation. So that'll be the episode 6 in the series, and then episode 7, sort of an opening day video, a bit like last time, except this time I'll do the point of views. So we'll see the queues, what they mostly look like as the guests walk through them, and we'll see the ride on the spinning coaster, which doesn't record too well. My graphics card is struggling, or CPU, whichever, and they're a little bit jerky, but I'll try and get that smoothed out, see if I can get you a decent point of view of the spinning coaster as well. Right, so yeah, that was the Teacups ride there, real quick shot through, and then there's just these still shots of each ride and a little preview of the coaster. And then I'll probably do a supplementary video again with a little bit more detail about the coaster decoration build and explain a bit more about that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.